Welcome to the Light of Zion channel presentations. The 3.5 years separation and harvest time of the end is the title of this presentation. It is written and prepared by your guide Brother Thomas Aladi and narrated by an AI voice over agent Bradford. The 3.5 years separation and harvest time of the end. Mankind is fast approaching the 3.5 years appointed time for the separation and the final judgment by Yahuwah God. Yahushua, our leader, revealed that he was sent to cause a division, a separation in all the families of the earth. Starting with Israel's descendants to the families of the other nations, he will make a separation at the appointed time. Yes, he will carry out Yahuwah's judgment of all the peoples on the earth. He will make a clear distinction of those who are on Yahuwah's side regarding the ruling of the earth and those on the devil's side. The separation into two groups. At Matthew 10:34-36, Yahushua declared, "Do not think I came to bring peace to the earth. I came to bring not peace, but a sword." 35. For I came to cause division. That is a separation with a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. 36. Indeed, a man's enemies will be those of his own household. Yes, each individual family members will choose on whose side they are on, especially at the appointed time of the end, the foretold 3.5 years before the final judgment, will this separation lines become clearly defined. During that time, those on Yahuwah's side, his chosen ones, will be separated from those who serve the devil and his systems. Yahuwah's foretold judgment of the devil. Early after creation, Yahuwah allowed for the devil, Satan the deceiver, to test the loyalty and mislead his human creation. He allowed for the devil to produce and to claim these ones he misled as his offspring. Yahushua proclaimed of them at Matthew 23:33 and said, "Serpents, offspring of vipers, how will you flee from the judgment of Gehenna?" Yahuwah foretold of the enmity that will exist among those who worship him as God and those misled to worship and serve the devil as God on the earth. Yahuwah also foretold of a separation and destruction at the time of the end for the devil and those who were misled to serve him. At Genesis 3:14-15 it is written, "Then Yahuwah God said to the serpent, 'Because you have done this, you are the cursed one out of all the domestic animals and out of all the wild animals of the field. On your belly you will go, and you will eat dust all the days of your life.' 15. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will crush your head, and you will strike him in the heel." We are approaching the final part of this prophecy, the separation and destruction of the devil and those who were deceived and misled to serve his systems on the earth. Those misled to serve the governments, education, religious and economical systems of the devil, the ruler of this world, are going down with him. Yahuwah's foretold judgment of the devil and all human. Yahuwah have committed this judgment of the devil and all human at the appointed time into the hands of his son, Yahushua. Yahushua declared at John 5:25-26, "For just as the Father has life in himself, so he has granted also to the Son to have life in himself." 27. And he has given him authority to do judging, because he is the Son of Man. 28. Do not be amazed at this, for the hour is coming in which all those in the memorial tombs will hear his voice. 29. And come out, those who did good things to a resurrection of life, and those who practiced wicked things to a resurrection of judgment. Yes, a separation of the two groups will first take place towards the end. Those who have listened to Yahushua the Son of God and did what is right will be separated from those who were misled by the devil. At Matthew 3:12 it is written about the Son of God, "His winnowing shovel is in his hand, and he will clean up his threshing floor completely, and will gather his wheat into the storehouse, but the chaff he will burn up with fire that cannot be put out." This final separation of what is planted on the earth, the wheat and the tares, will take place during the final harvest and separation appointed 3.5 years period. At Matthew 13:37-41, Yahushua declared, "The field is the world. As for the fine seed, these are the sons of the kingdom, but the weeds are the sons of the wicked one, 39, and the enemy who sowed them is the devil." The harvest is a conclusion of a system of things, and the reapers are angels. 40. Therefore, just as the weeds are collected and burned with fire, so it will be in the conclusion of the system of things. 41. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will collect out from his kingdom all things that cause stumbling and people who practice lawlessness, the 3.5 years separation period. As the prophets foretold, a distinction, a separation of those who serve Yahuwah God and those who are not serving him, will be made clearly to identify the two groups. During these final 3.5 years harvest and separation time, Yahuwah will pour out and seal his servants with his promised Holy Spirit. The devil likewise will give a mark on the forehead or hand of those who serve his systems to separate them from those who are not serving him. Concerning this separation period, it is written of the devil and his wild beast plan to revive the authoritative image system of Rome that it used when it destroyed the servants of God in the past and took total authority of the earth. At Revelation 13:14-17, it misleads those who dwell on the earth because of the signs that it was permitted to perform in the sight of the wild beast, while it tells those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the wild beast that had the sword stroke, and yet revived. 15. And it was permitted to give breath to the image of the wild beast, so that the image of the wild beast should both speak and cause to be killed all those who refuse to worship the image of the wild beast. 16. It puts under compulsion all people, the small and the great, the rich and the poor, the free and the slaves, that these should be marked on their right hand or on their forehead. 17. And that nobody can buy or sell except a person having the mark, the name of the wild beast, or the number of its name. The number of those to be sealed out of the tribes of Israel is 144,000. These are the remnant, who are not serving the devil during this 3.5 years separation and harvest time. At Revelation 7:1-4 it is revealed, "After this I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding tight the 4 winds of the earth, so that no wind could blow on the earth or on the sea or on any tree." 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the sunrise, having a seal of the living God. And he called with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, 3 saying, "Do not harm the earth or the sea or the trees, until after we have sealed the slaves of our God in their foreheads." 4. And I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000, sealed out of every tribe of the sons of Israel. Also a great multitude of people who chose to serve Yahuwah along with his chosen ones from Israel will be sealed for salvation during this period. Revelation 7:9-10. After this I saw, and look, a great crowd, which no man was able to number, out of all nations and tribes and peoples and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, dressed in white robes, and there were palm branches in their hands. 10. And they keep shouting with a loud voice, saying, "Salvation we owe to our God, who is seated on the throne, and to the Lamb." These great crowd are the 10 men separated out of every tongue and tribe of the nations. These recognize the living God Yahuwah and who his chosen ones are. They also refuse to be misled, to keep serving the devil. 2030 to 2033 separation time of what is planted. As Yahuwah has revealed, there is an appointed time for everything under the sun. Ecclesiastes 3:1-2. There is an appointed time for everything, a time for every activity under the heavens. 2. A time for birth and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, harvest what was planted. At Amos 3:7, Yahuwah warned us, "For the sovereign Lord, Yahuwah will not do a thing unless he has revealed his confidential matter to his servants the prophets. Yahuwah has revealed the appointed time for this separation and harvest time for the preparation of his servants. July 2030 to December 2033, 3.5 years, is the separation for harvest time. The field is ripe. Yahuwah will send in his angels at the appointed time. They will throw in the sickle to do the gathering and the separation work at the appointed time. As foretold at Joel 3:13, "Thrust in a sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come down and tread, for the winepress is full. The vats overflow, for their badness is abundant. 14 crowds are in the valley of the decision, for the day of Yahuwah is near in the valley of the decision." Revelation 14:14 to 16. Then I saw, and look, a white cloud, and seated on the cloud was someone like a son of man, with a golden crown on his head and a sharp sickle in his hand. 15. Another angel emerged from the temple sanctuary, calling with a loud voice to the one seated on the cloud, "Put your sickle in and reap, because the hour has come to reap, for the harvest of the earth is fully ripe." 16. And the one seated on the cloud thrust his sickle into the earth, and the earth was harvested. Let the one who has ear to hear listen, for the time is short. Chosen ones, are you preparing for the wilderness, the isolation place? Considering the things foretold to come upon the earth in the final days after the separation, are you preparing and looking ahead for your salvation? Yahushua, our leader, revealed of the difficult challenges it will be for many in those days of separation, especially for the chosen ones for the kingdom to come. It is written concerning the devil at Revelation 13:15 to 17. "And it was permitted to give breath to the image of the wild beast, so that the image of the wild beast should both speak and cause to be killed all those who refuse to worship the image of the wild beast." 16. It puts under compulsion all people, the small and the great, the rich and the poor, the free and the slaves, that these should be marked on their right hand or on their forehead. 17. And that nobody can buy or sell except a person having the mark, the name of the wild beast, or the number of its name. At Mark 13:13, Yahushua declared, "And you will be hated by all people on account of my name, but the one who has endured to the end will be saved." This is because we are following after him to resist and reject the devil's ruling systems. At Matthew 24:13 to 14 he declared, "But the one who has endured to the end will be saved." 14. And this good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth for a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Jeremiah 37:9 foretold and spoke, "Alas, for that day is a terrible one. There is none like it, a time of distress for Jacob, but he will be saved out of it." 8. And in that day, declares Yahuwah of armies, "I will break the yoke from off your neck, and your straps I will tear in two, and no more will strangers make him their slave. 9. They will serve Yahuwah their God, and David their king, whom I will raise up for them." Chosen ones look ahead to Yahuwah our God, breaking the yoke of our slavery to this devil's wicked systems from our necks. He will bring to an end all the works of the devil and his agents using his Son, Yahushua, our leader, at the end of the appointed time. Let the ones chosen be prepared. Endure until the end of the final 3.5 years appointed time to the devil and his agents.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed it, I have a recommendation to make. I recommend that you get a copy of this book. Yahuwah, our God, is magnifying his book of the law. It starts with Yahuwah. Yahuwah has magnified his book of the law. Negro, you are his chosen race. Get a copy so that you can understand the scriptures better. I also recommend that you get a copy of this book It's titled 30-Day Walking Challenge with God, a devotional prophetic countdown preparation for the year 2033. Yahuwah, our God, is magnifying His word and He's making His appointed time known to us. So it's good that we restore our relationship with our God. And this book will help you to do that. A 30-day walking challenge with God. So that you can be in line with what our God is doing. He is making His timetable or timeline known to us. We have to get ourselves prepared as obedient children to return back to our God. This book is designed to help you to awaken and restore your relationship with the living God. Until I come to you next time, I hope you remain blessed and at peace. Keep paying attention for new videos by subscribing and sharing this video and help others to also benefit from them. Until I come to you next time, thank you.